All right, good morning, everybody. This is kind of an impromptu live hangout here with the Grand Solar Minimum channel. All of us woke up this morning to alerts going off left and right. I know I woke up this morning to my phone. Let's see, 7.0 magnitude earthquake an hour ago in Kodiak, Alaska. And then the first one, it came through. Now I'm getting an 8.0 2 hours ago from Kodiak, Alaska. And then not too far behind that was a 6 point magnitude in Indonesia. So active morning as far as um, seismic activity. There are tsunami warnings that have been affected right now, but some of them are being canceled. I'll try to get you the list of canceled or current tsunamis at this time, but this is saying a massive 7 point now. Now, the original reports on this was 8.2. Now, this is only a 12-mile deep earthquake, so 15.5 miles to be exact on the 7.9. That's a depth of 25 kilometers. We see it right here. It's out in the middle of the water, but this is where we have to watch out for tsunamis. And there, like I said, there has been plenty of tsunami issues, warnings issued around. Now, this one here, 8.0. A lot of them are downgrading it to 7.9, but this one here, 8.0. And here's the reason. Anything over 8 is considered to be a big earthquake. And here's the evaluation they give. Earthquake with preliminary magnitude 8.0 occurred in the Gulf of Alaska at 9:32 UTC time, Tuesday, January 23rd. Widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible. Hazardous tsunami waves from this earthquake are possible within the next 3 hours along some of the coasts. So, this thing struck about 2 hours ago. We're 2/3 through it now. So let's hope and pray that we can get through this without any more events here. We're going to see aftershocks all day long. So far, the multitude of aftershocks have ranged anywhere from 4.0 back up to 5.3. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on my app here. Yeah, right now the app is littered with Alaskan earthquakes. And let's go ahead and just give you an idea. When that big one hit at 4:31 a.m., since then, Hawaii actually had a earthquake 7 minutes after that at 3.7 magnitude. And then old Limana, I hope I'm pronouncing that, Ilamana, oh my goodness. They had an earthquake for a 3.8, but after that initial 7.9, we're looking at aftershocks of 4.6, 4.8, 4.7, 5.0, 4.6, 4.2, 4.2, 3.1, 4.5, 4.1, 4.3, 4.2, 4.2, 4.1. And the last recorded quake was at 6:19 a.m. And I think this is going off of Eastern time. Oh, I take that back. I lied. There's way more. 7:05 was the last recorded quake. The highest aftershock was just about an hour ago at a 5.6. That one was only 14.9 miles deep. This recent aftershock that measured a 4.1 only measured 6.2 miles. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've had 24 related aftershocks so far and 2 other earthquakes that are in the vicinity of this big one. Now, just before that, I mentioned one in Indonesia. That one was 27 miles deep. It was also only 6.0. Goodness. Thank you. So, and honestly, looking at the 7-day total so far for earthquakes for this week, 368 earthquakes for the 7-day total. That's not that much. So it's been rather a normal week when it comes to earthquake activity. So nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, before this earthquake, we're talking about a bunch of, 2.9s and 2.1s and 2.9s and 2.2s and, nothing really exciting going on. A plethora of 2-point earthquakes. So nothing real major, which is a good sign. But you got to wonder now too. Um, Yesterday and the day before, we've reported on the corona hole that was Earth facing. If you look at it now, it looks like there's a giant crack in the sun. And I'm also confident that, with the solar activity we did have a proton flux yesterday, a brief solar flare. It was not Earth facing. It was not strong. It was a C class. But just with all the activity with the coronal holes, there has to be a connection, obviously. Mari, are you showing that to everybody right now?
Sorta.
Okay.
Let me get working on that, Jake. I haven't had my coffee yet.
That's fine. No, I just wanted to look at that picture myself for a minute.
There we go.
It was worse earlier. The corona hole is now turning away from the Earth. We do see a couple of areas that could develop in the next several hours, but it's a lot better looking than what it was last night when we reported on it.
It looks like there was a big, just long, sneaky looking corona hole last night.
It's interesting to watch the sun. A lot of the times I feel like the sun is the heartbeat of the solar system. It breathes like we do, so what goes up comes down. And just like these corona holes, just because they open up doesn't mean they're going to continue to open up. This one here is closing up as we speak. So the sun is definitely the heartbeat of everything, and there is a reaction for every action, of course. Looking at see if there's any other numbers right now on earthquakes other than what we're looking at right now, and it doesn't appear to be anything happening as far as any kind of tsunamis. I haven't checked.
Well, I tried getting into the tsunami page, was it tsunami.gov, and it was just down right now.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the government shutdown.
I can pull it up on a different browser just to see if I'm sure there's quite a bit of action tonight or this morning.
Several aftershocks.
Let's see if we can get in, and I can switch the window real quick, and we can have a look at the loads. Okay, yeah, it's sort of hanging up right now. I think the last alert I saw was a Gulf of California tsunami information. I'm not sure if it had a lot of information. No, it's not loading. So
I don't know if that's just the echo, but here on this map that I'm looking at, the one that gives the updates on things worldwide, they've got the first earthquake happened at a 7.9, and then there's another one next to it that's a few feet away. That one registered at 9:31 a.m., which that timing is definitely off. This must be in a different time zone. Same time. My guess is it was the same exact earthquake, and it just that one's depth. So, okay. The two earthquakes. Now that one just upgraded to 8.2. It was at 8. Now it's an 8.2. So there was two earthquakes according to this one site that we're looking at right now. One that was at 8.2 with a depth of 10 kilometers, and then the one that they're calling the 7.9. That one had a depth of 15 kilometers. Again, like I said, they're about a mile or so apart. So it's possible it's the same activity, and it just recorded as an echo. But tsunami watches, I hear people saying that they're canceled. They're canceled. Do you have any confirmation on that?
Well, the site is down right now, so it's very common with these earthquakes. They issue the tsunami warning. I believe they just check the buoys and make sure there isn't too much movement indicating large waves, and they usually call them off. That's typically what happens. But I did see a report of water receding, and that is sometimes an indicator of a tsunami. So all we can really do at this point is keep an eye on it and keep you updated. Trying to get the page reloaded here.
If there's any silver lining to this, the website that we go to get our alerts from and everything, They are putting severity at a minor threat. In fact, it says minimal to no known threat to life or property.
I know
this is the tsunami warning that's off the coast of the northwest United States and Canada.
Cancel it?
It's still in effect, but they're just not saying, you know, there's tsunami effects still on the islands outside of Alaska, but we have the coast right here of northwest Canada. Now, do you see any? I don't see any alerts for the United States. Tsunami alerts.
This one's North America.
I just wonder how far that would go up and down the coast from there.
Minimal to no. It says the severity here is minor.
Yeah. So there's no. There, even if they get a tsunami from that far away, they don't think it's going to cause. It could cause a little bit of an annoying problem, but other than that, it's they're calling the threat very minor. And that was my other question I'd like to look up as well today. If the earthquake is further away, is the tsunami threat further away as well? So that's something that I'll definitely look into myself. I'm not aware of the answer to that. I'm sure some of you
really,
have.
I think, depends on the waves it creates. Let me zoom out of this map again.
Bear with us, folks. We're just kind of surfing
We haven't
around,
had our coffee yet.
around.
We just woke up to that and just was like, well, we should definitely talk about this. Because it is a rather large earthquake.
Yeah, Michael Hodson, I do believe the time is in UTC. For some reason, this website says AM as if it was, you know, Eastern time or whatever. But yeah, I do believe you're right. It is in UTC time. Yeah, lots of going on. Tsunami alerts are canceled for the entirety of Canada and U.S. West Coast. Watch only now for Okay, good. So, Bonnie, in the
Not worried too
chat,
much about the tsunamis.
looks like the tsunami threat is decreasing. And, you know, I think everybody... Look, the only reason why we're freaking out... I wouldn't say we're even freaking out. The only reason why this gets a lot of attention now is that Japan earthquake where the tsunami came in. Was that Japan? Where the tsunami... The big one?
Yeah. You know what? It's too early. I
too
haven't
early.
had my
I
coffee, Jake.
apologize.
Don't
But
ask me questions.
we've had a major tsunami events before where it has killed people, and ever since the big one, I think everybody has learned to be a little bit more aware, and that's all we're doing here today is just reporting on this big time earthquake. The day is young. There's been several aftershocks in the area. That's typical, especially after a big one, especially as big as 8 points. So
we'll just basically come back later and do an update once we, get some more information.
yes, thank you. Fukushima was one. I was thinking Thailand as well, but those areas did receive some. It was pretty scary, and I remember the videos that came in from that. It was like no one really had seen these at the time. They weren't really talked about. They were out there. People were aware of them, but we'd never really seen the one like we've seen in Japan and Thailand. And so I think that the raw power of a tsunami has left an imprint on people who did see that news coverage. And now every time we get an earthquake like this rattling off, we will definitely have to keep the alerts up and keep people up to date on what's going on, because I know the northwest coast of the United States is very highly populated. Same with, of course, California, very high. So there's a lot to worry about when you talk about tsunamis and earthquakes on the west coast of the United States. Scientists have been waiting for the big one now on the west coast for, we're supposedly 150 years overdue for the big one.
We got the fault lines here, so, it's going to be interesting to see how this shifts and travels and how the Earth adjusts to this.
Right there on the ring of fire, on the outer rim. So.
Ring of fire.
Well, I mean, it goes all the way up and then connects. That's not what the consideration of the ring of fire is. This right here. Yeah, it's a nickname for the area. starts
here.
It's
too early in the morning for me.
Oh
my God, I'm dying here. I don't know, Jake.
It's all right.
I'm like dying.
I'm
just gonna keep my mouth shut.
We were up kind of late last night, and then I woke up this morning to get my son ready for school. And as I'm trying to wake up, there is all these alerts jumping off on my phone for earthquakes, and here we are. So I think that's going to be pretty much it for right now. We just wanted to touch base real quick. If there is any new developments, Mari and I will jump right on. I don't think right now it looks good for the tsunami threat. It does look like it's decreasing in threat. So the aftershocks, we'll keep our eyes on that to see if we get any more big ones from that. But right now, we're getting your typical 4s and 5 magnitude aftershocks in that same region. So should be an active day. We'll keep our eyes on things. We had the volcano in Japan go off. There, we're at level 4 on that. It went from a level 3 to level 4. So now they're saying hazardous impacts are imminent for that region. So lots to go over, lots to look at, and here at the Grand Solar Minimum channel, we will try to keep you guys up to date as much as possible. All right, guys, have a good day, and we'll talk soon. A big earthquake. And here's the evaluation they give. Earthquake with preliminary magnitude 8.0 occurred in the Gulf of Alaska at 9:32 UTC time, Tuesday, January 23rd. Widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible. Hazardous tsunami waves from this earthquake are possible within the next 3 hours along some of the coasts. So, this thing struck about 2 hours ago. Alright, good morning everybody. This is kind of an impromptu live hangout here with the Grand Solar Minimum channel. All of us woke up this morning to alerts going off left and right. I know I woke up this morning to my phone. Let's see. 7.0 magnitude earthquake an hour ago in Kodiak, Alaska. And then the first one, it came through. Now I'm getting an 8.0 2 hours ago from Kodiak, Alaska. And then not too far behind that was a 6 magnitude in Indonesia. So active morning as far as seismic activity. There are tsunami warnings that have been affected right now, but 25 kilometers. We see it right here. It's out in the middle of the water, but this is where we have to watch out for tsunamis. And there, like I said, there has been plenty of tsunami issues, warnings issued around. Now this one here, 8.0. A lot of them are downgrading it to 7.9, but this one here, 8.0. And here's the reason: anything over at 8 is considered to be. Some of them are being canceled. I'll try to get you the list of canceled or current tsunamis at this time, but this is saying a massive 7 point now. Now the original reports on this was 8.2. Now this is only a 12-mile deep earthquake, so 15.5 miles to be exact on the 7.9. That's a depth